Hey guys, Marsing here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a look at the AGL Super Saiyan GOTENKS, who they finally decided to drop the EZA for on Global. Not sure why they waited so long on JP. The EZA for him and the STR base form GOTENKS came out on the same day that the LR Super Buu released. So for whatever reason, they delayed that for Global, decided to release him today on the day that the World Tournament starts. So who knows why they did that? Yes, yet another weird global timeline confusion. So, you know, just sync the games already. But yeah, so we have AGL Super Saiyan GOTENKS, and he seems like he could be pretty decent. His leader skill is not the best. It's all types 3 key, 80% to stats. So he could be useful for like a sub leader for Battlefield or something like that. His super attack effect is to raise defense for 1 turn, does supreme damage to the enemy and greatly lowers defense. And then his passive is key 3 and high chance to dodge for 5 turns, so 50% dodge, only for 5 turns. Attack and defense 50%, then he gets an additional attack and defense 20% per key sphere obtained. He gets an additional attack and defense 80% when performing a super, and then he changes tech key spheres to AGL key spheres when there is another rapid growth ally attacking in the same turn, and he gives rapid growth allies key +1 and attack and defense 30%. Now, the interesting thing about this GOTENKS is his only 200% lead is Majin Vegeta, who I'm 99% sure is not on rapid growth. No. Is this Goten on rapid growth? Is it only going to be the GOTENKS? I need to double check this. Yeah, rapid growth is interesting because I feel like his best usage is probably going to be a rapid growth support unit, but he doesn't get a 200% leader skill like on that team at all or anything. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where his best place will actually be. Because yeah, we've not got a rapid growth ally on this team, although funnily enough, was it Tech Orbs he changes to AGL? So we actually still would have just been better off on this rotation with the Int Orbs anyway. So we're able to get 10 Orbs for him in slot 1, which not necessarily common, right, if you're not getting his Orb changing passive. But that gives him 259% on this turn, 259k. But remember, he gets 80% on super. So he is going to be at about 450k. And then he raises defense for 1 turn on super as well. So he is potentially getting close to like, what, 500k when he supers. And then if he double supers, assumingly he's going to be over 500k, which is not bad for a unit that you're potentially going to be using on your team to float as a support unit. So 6.6 essentially for his super attack. We don't get the additional, but then yeah, he tanks the normal for double digits, and then there's the dodge, right? 50% chance to dodge for the first 5 turns. Now, the thing that I could see potentially being an issue with his design is the fact that I feel like his best usage, as I've already mentioned, is probably going to be being run as a support unit for a rapid growth team. And the problem is the unit in slot 3 needing a certain amount of orbs is always going to be kind of awkward, right? Because, of course, you have the other 2 units on the rotation that are going to be picking up the orbs before him. So that then leaves you in a potential situation where there are no orbs left for the unit in slot 3. Like if he was on this rotation now, we would only be able to get 4 orbs for him, which is not going to be a crazy amount. I mean, we saw him on the last turn with 10 orbs, and it wasn't exactly like, you know, earth-shattering levels of performance. So you get him on a turn where he only gets 4 orbs, and that was with support as well from that tech Goten. That tech Goten supports gifted warriors, which this GOTENKS is on. So he was getting support on that turn as well. So that's the thing that I think is going to make a huge difference. Because remember, as I already said at the start, this is his only 200% team as well. So if you're running him on a rapid growth team, or say, you know, you've built a team that's like Super Saiyans or has a bunch of fusions or whatever that has a lot of rapid growth characters, he's only then going to be getting double 170 leads on that team. And so then, yeah, his numbers overall are obviously going to be a little bit less. And then the other problem that we see here as well is the fact that we, to run his, like, to get as many links out of him as possible, we are running a bunch of these other GOTENKS units, who obviously are not necessarily, like, the craziest units anymore, right? Now this guy, because he's another Gotenks, I never link leveled him. Wow. The World Tournament card. He's got an Awakening and everything. I guess I'll have to throw him on my link level team. But he is providing a decent amount of support here. He gives Youth 20% attack and 10% defense, and then same for Fusion. So he's giving him 40% attack, 20% defense. And then obviously we are getting a couple of extra links out of him here as well. So the problem is I want to run... This is basically how I want to run the setup, right? Margin Vegeta in slot 1, and then use the units that are floating in slot 3 to be supports for Gotenks. So we'll do this, make sure he gets his 6 orbs, and then we're still able to get 7, so that's pretty good. Good orb RNG. So he's at 252 again. So again, he's going to be looking at breaking 400k with his actual super attack effect, which is pretty decent. And then this Gotenks on the end, he can be good, but he kind of suffers from a similar issue that I feel this AGL Gotenks will run into, where if you're running him as a floating support unit, he stacks defense on super, but obviously by floating off rotation, he's going to be on less turns. He's going to get less options to super attack. But let's see, what do we get here out of Ghost? This was 7 orbs, 7.4 million. Yeah, that's pretty good. Then, of course, he just absorbs it. And then we get the double super. Because he doesn't raise attack on super, he does the same number. But, I mean, that's still pretty good to almost 7.5 million attack stats for a unit that has built-in 50% chance to dodge, at least for these first few turns. And he had about, what, close to... With the double super, he must be close to or breaking 500k defense on that turn. So that is pretty good. And if we do this... Actually, I suppose it doesn't matter. I was going to say Vegeta's not actually getting hit, so getting the 6 orbs for him is not actually really that important. And then we probably are going to kill him this turn, yeah, so there's no reason to save the AGL orbs here. So, I mean, this Gotenks seems like he could be pretty good, but again, it just kind of comes down to, like, what sort of rapid growth teams are we going to be running with him on. I'm just having a look at the rapid growth category now. I mean, like, AGL LR Gohan is on there. LR Piccolo is on there. So, I mean, having supports for him is pretty good. Obviously, the other Gotenks is on there. I'll do a separate video for him, the STR base form one. All the Kale and Cauliflas and, like, Keflas are on there. So, I guess when AGL Kale comes out, does she have a 200% lead for him as well? I actually can't remember what her leader skill is. But all of the Kale and Cauliflas are on there. Ultimate Gohans are on there. Or at least the Majin Buu Saga ones are. So, I mean, there's a couple of good units that he could be supporting. And units like the AGL LR Gohan, they're going to be on teams like Super Saiyans together. So, that could be pretty good. Let's see. Do I take the risk here? So, we've got a lot of links active on this turn. We've got a lot less defense because we've got no support. So, let me do this. Oh yeah, that did not drop the AGL orbs as well as I would have liked. Alright, well, let's see what he does here with 4 orbs then. I'm taking a risk by obviously not, you know, deliberately not giving Majin Vegeta his orbs. But we do have a Trunks on the team, right? So we do have at least some amount of damage reduction. But let's see what we get out of 4 orbs here and then no support for this Gotenks. And then you have to remember as well, of course, don't crit. He's going to crit, isn't he? Hey, there we go. Alright, so what was I going to say? Now, the thing is as well, yeah, to remember, is he only has that 50% dodge for 5 turns, which I'm slightly confused as to why they would do that, right? Because it's not like him having 50% dodge all the time would then suddenly make him, like, crazy broken OP, right? Like, I mean, he, like I said, I do think he is somewhat decent, for sure, but yeah, I mean, having 50% dodge is not going to make him busted beyond belief, right? So the fact that it runs out after 5 turns, you think about events like, say, the Metal Cooler Core, you always get to the Metal Cooler Core on turn 4. So if Gotenks is on turn 1, then obviously he's still going to have guard on turn 5, and then when he comes back again on turn 7, I guess by then you could have the event beaten. But any events that start where you start actually getting to like turn 6 or 7 or so on, like that's where you're going to potentially start running into some issues. So like on this turn, for example, we do not have the dodge anymore. Now, obviously the way the rotation has played out, it doesn't really matter because he's not going to take any hits. But that is something that we would potentially have to be concerned with, because again, we can only get 4 orbs on this turn, which means we are looking at 185k, so 80% on super means around about 100k, then the super attack effect as well, so he would be at around 300, just over 300, which, as we know, like, even some of the harder bosses, he'll take damage from their normal attacks with 300k defense, so yeah, I'm not too sure how I feel about this Gotenks. Like I said, he could be a good support unit for some rapid growth characters, but again, on those teams, he's not going to be getting the 200% leader skill. So then the numbers are going to be even lower than what we're seeing on this run. So I'm not too sure what to think. Like, obviously, you know, that was one of the big discussions we were having in the community about the potential Tanabata unit. But when, like, a big, really powerful new Gotenks comes out, then I guess he could be useful, right, as a floater on his team, as long as he fits under his leader skill. But you would assume a new Gotenks is going to have a leader skill that incorporates all of the other Gotenkses, right? Even if it doesn't have some of the, like, Goten and Trunkses. But you would assume a Gotenks leader skill is going to have all of the Gotenkses in the game on it. But, I mean, I guess you never know. So, I mean, when that time comes, I guess he could be a good option for that team. But, yeah, I don't know. So, let's go ahead and we'll get the 3 orbs here. Let's transform into Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. I've always liked this in Gotenks. I'm really looking forward to when he eventually gets an EZA. He can be kind of fun on this team as well, because obviously once he transforms into Super Saiyan 3, he shares over in a flash with Majin Vegeta, which makes it a little bit easier for them to get their super attacks. I always have liked this rotation as well, right? Having Vegeta and Trunks in slot 1, and then Majin Vegeta in slot 2. Vegeta and Trunks still able to do pretty well here. They're only getting the 170 lead from Majin Vegeta, but they do their job on this team perfectly fine. Are we going to finish them off this turn? I think we might, solely because Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks does kind of come out the gate pretty strong. And we're getting an additional from Majin Vegeta as well. So I guess we'll see this next turn with Gotenks and see how well he gets on. But yeah, Super Saiyan 3 won 4.8. Man, when he does get an EZA, I feel like this first turn where you go Super Saiyan 3, he's going to be going pretty crazy. Because he can do an additional super for a certain amount of turns. So if you get the hidden potential as well, like, he can put out a pretty reasonable amount of damage. And then, yeah, once he gets an EZA, I think he could be looking quite good. Especially with the support from this Gotenks. So this is going to be the last turn for a multitude of reasons. Possibly because we may actually just end up dying here. I can't get 6 orbs for you. And you don't have your dodge anymore, which means you kind of lose the option to put him in slot 1. Like, you could run the risk and put him in slot 1 while he does still have his dodge active. But once that dodge runs out, like, putting him in slot 1 becomes incredibly dangerous, right? So I think what I'll do, let me use the active skill with Vegeta so we can get a little bit of extra defense here. And then we'll grab these. So we're not getting the full buff, but we are getting some extra defense. And then we can get 7 orbs for this Gotenks. So we have been able to get orbs with him relatively well throughout the showcase. He is going to be rocking, again, after supering, close to 400k, which is not too bad. So we'll do this. But yeah, I feel like this is probably going to be the last turn, because with the Tech Gotenks at the end not having stacked very much, there is a possibility that he just gets annihilated here. Although he has supered already, so we don't have to eat that. But yeah, 6.4. I mean, yeah, he puts out some decent numbers. For a sub EZA, I definitely don't think he's terrible. But could he be better? Absolutely. Again, I really don't think he needed to lose the 50% chance to dodge. Like, he would still be perfectly fine with it, like, not too OP with it. So I think it would have been fine if he kept it. 184. We only survived because of the dodges. Let's go. Alright, so yeah, I guess that's going to be it for this Gotenks. Let me know what you guys think of him down below in the comment section. Like I said, I do think he's somewhat decent, but I just don't know where his true, like, place is going to be until we get, like, a new Gotenks or, like, a really strong rapid growth team. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.